Hi boys and girls, and welcome to the NTI Day 25 review. So I'm going to go over just reading and word work and writing and poem with you, and Miss Valletta will be doing all of the other stuff with you, math and science, social studies. So here is your riddle to make sure you watch this video. What answer can you never answer yes to? What answer can you never, or what question can you never answer yes to? What question can you never answer yes to? Okay. All right, so now let's hit your NTI Day 25 goodies. So the first thing that we are going to look at, you guys have a project this week from me, and it is all about picking an idiom and doing some research about it. So I'm going to kind of set you up here so that you can see, and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, this is the deal. I'm going to kind of walk you through it. I'm going to pick an idiom kind of every week for you guys so that you can see the different ways to, that you can look up, different types of idioms and what you can do with that. I got this little stand. I'm trying to make it to where you guys can actually see better, but it's not working. There we go. That's better, kind of. Okay. So, if you're thinking about an idiom, but you're not sure which idiom you like the best, because there's a ton of them out there, I've provided a list of idioms here. So like you can see, like turn a blind eye, feeling under the weather, beat around the bush, read the riot act, spill the beans, the proof is in the pudding. So during our meeting today, we talked about if I had picked spilled the beans. So let's do the proof is in the pudding. I'm curious about that one myself. So I would go back to my graphic organizer, and then I would type in the proof is in the pudding is my idiom. Then down here I need to answer these three things. Write three things that you wonder about your idiom. So you might put, where did it come from? Who was the first person to say it? Does it actually have anything to do with pudding? Did it start off literal and then turned into non-literal? Your purpose of your research is to find out where these idioms come from. Now here is where you're supposed to list your resources. So in order to look up your idiom, I have provided a list of resources for you. So if you choose this one, you would say, I used Britannica.com. So if you click on this, it will take you to Britannica.com, and I've taken you right to the page that you need. So here's 7 everyday English idioms and where they came from. So I would scroll down and see if I could find the proof is in the pudding on this one. There's feeling under the weather. There is beat around the bush. There's read the riot act. Spill the beans. This is on this one. Oh, proof is in the pudding. So I would read this. It says, the meaning is, depending on who you ask, you'll actually find an array of definitions for this odd idiom. Here are some of the most commonly used definitions. There's evidence to back up previously made claim, and the process of achieving something that isn't important as long as the end product is good, or the success of something can only be measured by putting it to its intended use. So, and here's where it came from, the origin. The reason for the plethora of definitions is that most likely the Americanization of the old British idiom, which reads, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, Whereas the British version makes at least some sense, the shortened version is nonsensical. This led to the varied use of the idiom in a multitude of situations. So the British version, however, is closest in definition to the third listed. The word proof was synonymous with a test in the 16th century, which is when the idiom is thought to have surfaced. Pudding was also far different from today. It was most likely a minced meat dish. Therefore, the true test of the success of a pudding dish is how it tasted. It said more generally, the success of something can be measured only by putting to its intended purpose. All right, so then I would go back to my inquiry page, and I would put that I used Britannica.com. Now it says you're going to take notes. So that's just one resource. So I can put in there that it came from England, and it was really about taste testing food. And back then, though, pudding was actually minced meat. And then I can go and look up some other resources and see if I can find anything different. Then it says, when you take your notes, you don't have to write them in complete sentences. You're just going to kind of bullet them and put them in a notebook. It wants to know, did you find the answer to your question? Yes. And then if you find any connecting information, you tell me yes, and then you take notes on it. Did I need to change my question? No, I still want to know where the idiom came from. After that, I'm going to go over here and decide how I want to present that. Now, in an ideal world, this might be kind of funny if I actually made pudding. And I could find the recipe for pudding. I could put it in a Google Doc and take a picture of my pudding. And that would be a perfect representation of proof is in the pudding. So you really can do whatever you want. You could do a Google slide. You can write a report, make a poster. You could act it out. You can make a song about proof in the pudding. Whatever you want to do. You need to write down here what your plan is, though. And then on Tuesday, I've provided a Google slide or a Google Doc if you need that. If you don't need that and you're just going to take a picture or you're going to video, then you won't need those things. All right. Next up, here's our poem. It is Opposite Day. So I'm going to read it to you, and then you guys know you can do an activity every day with the poem to practice fluency. So it's opposite day. It's opposite day. The day to do things in the opposite way. I wear my pants backward, my shirt inside out. I scream to talk softly. I whisper to shout. I write with my foot and I kick with my hand. I stare with my eyes closed. I sit down to stand. I drink from a plate and eat from a cup. I climb into bed when it's time to wake up. I frown when I'm happy. I smile when I'm sad. I say, I like liver, but ice cream is bad. I claim that it's dark when it's sunny and bright. If something is black, I insist that it's white. I stand still for dancing. When running, I crawl. So please understand, I don't like you at all. It's opposite day. Remember that, guys. Okay, some words that you might want to look up on this one. Insist might be a word that you want to look up. Claim might be a word that you want to look up. Let's see. I think that's that's probably good. Okay. So, all right, that was our poem. And then today we are talking about possessive nouns. All right. So I want you guys to really pay attention to this. Some of you guys got this right, straight up, was super easy. You understood it. Some of you guys might need a little bit more help with it. Okay, I'm going to do an adjustment here because I want you guys to be able to see this. Sorry. kind of a difference here. There we go. That actually did good. I used a bowl. All right, so it says, what is a noun? A noun is a person, place, or thing. So you should click on that one, and then you're going to drag it over here because that's what a noun is. Then it says, what is a possessive noun? A possessive noun is a noun that shows ownership, yes. So that goes over here. And then this one says, adds an apostrophe S or an S apostrophe. So that goes there too. Possessive nouns do that also. So that's what that page should have looked like for you guys. Okay. All right. Then over here, they wanted you to sort it. So singular possessive, guys, is going to have a noun, then the apostrophe, then the S. So like mom's shoes. Okay, that's one mom. That's not more than one mom, okay? So we should have clicked on that one and brought it over here. Another one might be Colorado's mountains because there's only one Colorado that has mountains. So we're gonna drag that one there. Then the other one is plural possessive nouns. So that means there's more than one thing that owns something. So this one is going to be an S and then an apostrophe. So it would be girls and then an S and then an apostrophe. Or like dogs. So there's more than one dog that owns a bowl. So it would go here, okay? Now, an irregular possessive noun, these are irregular nouns. These are nouns that are plural, but you don't add S to them, the word changes. So like man and men. Men is an irregular possessive. So on that one, you would have men's. So it would be men, but with an apostrophe and then an S. And then children's, so it's more than one child that owns a book, but we don't say child's or socks. We don't say child's, we say children's, and it has an apostrophe S, even though there's still more than one. Okay? All right. I hope that helps, and hopefully tomorrow I'll get that kind of set up a little bit better to where maybe you guys can see. I have this little stand, but it didn't work out so great. All right, so be ready to answer my question tomorrow. What question can you never answer yes to? All right.